Welcome to another episode of the Laura the Library Lady podcast, a production of the Massillon Public Library.
Hi, it's Laura the Library Lady coming to you from the Massillon Public Library here in beautiful downtown Massillon, Ohio. And today I have three special guests with me. I'd like to know if you would introduce yourselves and your business, and we're going to start with you.
Sure. I'm Maury Sullivan. I'm with Kozmo's Grille right here in downtown Massillon.
Awesome.
I'm Chuck Thompson. I'm also with Kozmo's Grille here in Massillon.
And last but not least,
I am Rick Taylor, and I am the third partner
are you
at
the
Kozmo's Grille.
Silent partner?
In beautiful downtown Massillon.
I was asking these guys beforehand if they were the silent partners, but they all said no.
I don't
basically.
think any of us are particularly quiet or silent.
So I wanted to know how you three gentlemen met and decided to start Kozmo's.
Two totally different scenarios, but I'll at least talk about how we met, and then one of the others can talk about how the partnership kind of started. But we were all in the Canton JCs, which was an excellent organization as far as leadership development. It was a young men's organization at the time, men only, but we were in that organization for decades together, and we're involved in a lot of community projects and that kind of thing. And we just developed great friendships from that time on, and we are still friends with mostly JC acquaintances from back in the day. But that's the history of the three of us knowing one another. But professionally, each of us came from a slightly different direction.
So, Maury, how did the three of you decide to start Kozmo's?
It was kind of a different situation. Both Rick and Chuck had their own successful businesses, and they had sold those businesses, I don't know, maybe a year or 2 years before they had the brilliant idea that they'd like to be in the restaurant business. And I've been in the restaurant business.
I think that was your brilliant idea, Maury, not ours.
Not
at least
so
the brilliant,
fast,
at least
Hey there, Rick.
the so-called brilliant part of it was yours.
See, there you go. Yeah. But at the time, they were looking for something else. They were getting bored with nothing to do and clipping coupons and staying at home. So I had the perfect solution for them to spend all their money on, and that was, of course, to get in the restaurant business. But an acquaintance of mine, Joey Barberi, who owned Coppers, right? Later Rivets and so on and so forth. But Joey was ready to move on. It was too big of an operation for his taste at the time. At any rate, so I went back to Rick and Chuck and said, okay, here's an opportunity, but I'll let them take over now.
All right. Well, Chuck, you want to tell a little bit about that and about what year was that?
That was in 2004. I believe is when we decided we were going to do this. Rick and I were both looking for something else to do. And you can only golf and you can only fish so much when you're retired. When you're retired young.
What were you retired from?
Well, I had a business that manufactured medical swabs, and I sold that in 1996. And I got into real estate, tried that, didn't really care for it, and I worked for another guy. It just didn't work out. And so when Maury contacted Rick and I, we thought, well, Maury's got the background.
Yep.
He's the go-to guy for this, so let's do it.
So
that's how it started.
It just can't fail, right?
Yeah,
and he told us we'd make money the first year.
That's
correct,
right.
Chuck?
Yeah, right.
Was he right?
He was off by 5 or 6, 7 years.
7 or 8.
Maybe,
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought you were going to say digits.
Close,
I thought you were going to say dollars, $5, $6.
close enough for government work, I guess,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, Rick, what business were you in prior to this?
My family owned a Taylor Beverage Company, so we were a wholesale beer, mostly beer, a little bit of wine, and some soft drinks distributor. So we had 3 counties here locally. We sold that in 2002. And as Chuck said, we were kind of looking for the next thing to do. At the time, I was told that I was too young to retire, and that was by 3 people that were close to me: my attorney, my accountant, and my wife.
Well, she would know.
Well, you can fire the first 2, but it's highly suggested you don't fire the wife. So we decided we were going to find something else to invest in, and Maury brought this opportunity to us. And we had a lot of fun developing the concept.
It was. It was. One of the funnier stories is, what are we going to call this restaurant? You know, we all are a bit quirky. That's a bit of an understatement. But, of course, we had to ask the wives, too, right?
Sure.
So now we have 6 people with 6 ideas, and we had a list of, if it wasn't 30 names on it, there wasn't 2 names. So Kozmo's was one of the names. No relationship to the theme that we currently are utilizing, but
it's a combination of initials, basically, to get to Kozmo's.
Oh, okay. I guess I forgot that aspect
one
of
the
it.
Things we, yeah.
Oh, the hidden history.
Yeah, yeah. But the best part of the story, and we still tell this story on our menu today, is we were doing the reconstruction and renovation of the property in the winter. We acquired it, I think we acquired it late December of that year. And then we were working downtown every day in here
sure.
with the construction crew.
It's a historic building. It probably was pretty daunting.
And during a lunch break, Rick had to go get some kind of tchotchke type of Christmas gift. Okay, so we went wandering the streets of Lincoln Way and went into a shop right up on Lincoln Way and walked in. It was like a scene from Seinfeld, frankly. Right down the aisle at the end of the store is that famous picture of Cosmo Kramer in the suit jacket, and it was like lit like an epiphany from above. And we saw that and we said, okay, clearly Cosmos
Angels
is good.
were singing.
Cosmos is the name. We bought the poster, and the rest is history.
Whose initials were involved there?
Wife, nicknames. Maury was in there. Otis was my nickname.
Yeah, Chuck.
Okay.
My wife, Chuck.
We were spelling it with a C. So Chuck, Otis.
Yeah.
You were
Sean.
spelling Chuck with a C or Cosmos with a C or both?
Well, it's
Both.
Cosmos with a K now.
Now it is.
Yeah.
All right, interesting. Since this is a Massillon podcast, I want to know if you'll kind of tell me your connection to Massillon when we start with Chuck.
Well, I certainly had some friends at Central that went to Massillon and got to know some people from there. But as far as my work history, I mean, this is my first venture in anything in Massillon.
Oh, I see.
So
So you said you were originally from where?
Plain Township.
Plain Township.
That's where I grew up.
And went to Central Catholic.
Right, went to Central. And when I got out of there, I went to Kent State. Well, I started at Ohio State. I managed to get 1 year in.
You're making a face. We won't talk about that.
Well,
But he's smiling also.
it took me. I crammed 4 years of college into 7 years. Let's put it that way. So,
That's a good one.
but then when I came back, I traveled around the country with different jobs, and finally I decided I had enough. I came back to home and started my own business, and that's how I got involved with Maury, because he became one of my partners in my business.
I see. Okay.
But my connection to Massillon is really limited until we started Cosmos.
And now here you are.
Yeah, that's right.
Rick, how about you?
Kind of the same. I didn't really have too many connections with Massillon, except we did business over here when we had the beer company, and sold a lot of beer. We had some great customers over there and some great routes. We did, seriously. So we had that connection. I knew Joey a little bit from that. But that's about it until we started the business. I'll tell you what, though, it's a great community in which to operate. It really, truly is. I mean,
Nice to hear.
people accepted us. The customers accepted us. Everybody's been helpful. It's tremendous. I mean, it's a small enough community that you get to know a lot of people, but it's big enough that, you can do some good business here as well. So
True.
we like being in beautiful downtown Massillon.
It is lovely, isn't it? So then, Maury, what's your connection to Massillon?
I have a little deeper connection. Our boys went to St. Mary's, Massillon, and before going on to Central, but they were heavily involved with athletics. As I don't care where you go to school in Massillon, right? You're going to be involved with athletics and basketball and football. And actually, they both went on to Central and were on Central's state championship team back in '89. So
nice.
That's kind of my connection to Massillon.
Yeah. And then I know everybody's curious about what other restaurants are you involved with, Maury?
Our family has Pancho's Southwestern Grill up in Green, and we have Tim's Tavern over by Myers Lake in Canton.
Ooh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I knew about Pancho's, but
Yeah.
very interesting. Okay. So who do you consider your team, and how well do you think you work together? Who's integral to your team? I mean, besides the three of you guys sitting right here.
Yeah, we're probably not that integral to the team anymore, honestly. But Eric Smith, also known as Nick Danger, is our general manager. He has been in the restaurant business for probably 40 years.
Close to 40 years. Yeah.
Managing different places, some chains, some local. And we were lucky enough to find him when we needed a general manager. So he's been with us for, I think, 4 or 5 years now, if I'm not mistaken. Does a great job.
Sounds indispensable.
Great people person. Loves greeting people at the restaurant coming in the door. He'll walk out and open the door for them. I mean, the guy he's on top of stuff. He really, truly is. And then we have Mike Melton, who's also one of our managers. Lindsay is our McCreary is our banquet manager, plus one of our top servers. We do a lot of banquet business and event business. We have a banquet area in the second floor, which consists of 3 rooms. So we can do about 100 in one room, 30 in the other, and then there's a dance floor and bar in between those 2 areas. That has a free play jukebox.
A free
that
play?
plays 40 old 45s.
Oh.
So
it's a relic.
I wouldn't
it's
call it
back
that.
in the 50s, I think.
It's an antique. It's vintage.
It's got some great tunes on it.
Yeah.
And of course, Hold That Tiger is one of the main ones, of course. But
wow.
So anyway, that's our management team. Mike Wilson is the chef. My son, my wife and I. Our son was our chef for the first 15 years we were in business, and his wife was our GM. But at the end of 2020, at the end of COVID, they kind of said they'd had enough. So I've been through a couple of chefs since then. But Mike Wilson, who was the current chef, and Robbie, what's Robbie's last name, guys? I should know. He's been there a while. Yeah, you don't know either, do you? So
well, maybe he doesn't need a last name. He's just
actually,
Robbie.
His nickname is the Pizza Slayer because he's our top pizza maker. So we'll call him Robbie the Pizza Slayer. Those 2 worked with my son when he was the chef. We've been through a couple of chefs in between all this, and we're kind of getting back to the original recipes because chefs like to put their own touches on things when they come in. So long story short, they're the main team in the kitchen, and we're really happy. We've got a fantastic crew right now. All the servers, bartenders, cooks. I mean, everybody's doing a great job. So
Robbie Criswell has been with us for probably as long as Mike has. But yeah, we've got a great crew. Yeah,
that's good to hear.
Very blessed right now.
Yeah, nice. So what challenges, besides maybe finding a new chef throughout those times, what other challenges have you faced?
COVID was a absolute incredible period. I have 3 restaurants I'm involved with, and each one was impacted slightly differently than the other. But coming out of COVID was probably the toughest time in 40 years that I've experienced in this business. It was very difficult to hire people. Of course, during COVID, nobody wanted to work because they were sure they were going to come down with COVID and probably pass away. But the hardest part was post-COVID, frankly, And there was so much money being distributed in the economy that people had no incentive to work, frankly. They could stay home and have as much money as they would take home pay in working. And it was such a disincentive. It was very, very difficult to hire. You would run an ad and people would respond to the ad, then they wouldn't show up for the interview. Or they would show up for the interview, do well, we would hire them, and then they wouldn't show up for their first day at work. And I talked to a lot of people during that time frame, not just restaurants, but everybody was in the same boat. But thank God we're past that now.
Yeah.
And people are engaged again, for lack of a better term.
That's a good term. I like that.
Hiring is back where it should be. And we offer very competitive wages. The restaurant industry, for some reason, some people think that it's not a well-paying career, and nothing could be further from the truth. Servers in particular, people that are uneducated as to the industry, think a server is only making a few dollars an hour. Well, quality servers make $30, $35 an hour. And they can work schedules that fit their needs.
That's true.
If they've got kids at home, okay, they can work day shift. Or hubby comes home at night, and then they can work the night shift. So it's quite flexible. But salaries and wages really got well adjusted during that period from 2019 to today's world. And it's a good industry. Yeah, it's a starter industry for a lot of people. My kids, all of them, started in the restaurant, and 3 of them are still in the business. If they weren't, I wouldn't still be in the business. But it's a great starting job for anybody. And I salute parents that encourage their kids to go get a job. And we've got a number of great kids, bussers, hostesses, dishwashers, entry-level cooks, frankly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that's good to know, that you think the economy is doing so much better, and you've got full capacity, it sounds like, with your staff. So
Yeah. The work, people are willing to work now, and they have an incentive, and they're doing well, and we're finding good people. So.
Nice.
And we try to treat them well so that they stick around.
Well, yeah, you want to keep them.
I think we do a pretty good job of that, honestly.
Yeah, the industry is noted for high turnover normally.
Sure.
But we do pretty well with keeping our staff.
I mean, I would think that a lot of restaurant jobs are very difficult and require a lot of effort, so it would be hard.
People have no idea. A server is a very demanding job, as is a cook. And a cook is working in 100-degree temperatures.
Sure.
Our staff works when everybody else plays. And that's a difficult. You've got to have a passion for hospitality and restaurant and bar business, or you won't succeed.
And the personality, especially in front of the house, you really have to.
You got to be a
able
people
talk to
person,
people.
really.
Yeah.
And be able to sell to a large degree.
True.
Which is, just being a good people person in the long run.
Right, and helping people find out what they want and what they
knowing
need.
the product.
Right.
Sure.
Knowing the product.
Yeah.
So
I would say one of the other challenges, Lori, has been the building. You
I'm
kind
sure.
of mentioned it earlier.
Yes.
It's an historic building. It was built in the canal era. Canal ran right in front of the building. So there was always something. We're kind of caught up now, but there was always something that needed to be done with the building. And we invested ourselves. I don't know that we've ever gotten any assistance from anybody for any of the stuff with the building, and some of it's pretty
extensive
and expensive.
Yeah, to
so
rehab
we've
a
invested
building.
in that building for 20 years, and it's a challenge. I mean, it's we're fortunate that we were able to do that as a team of partners. But that's been an ongoing challenge.
But that's great. I mean, it's a gem, and it's so nice to be able to go into a historic building like that and enjoy a meal and see.
Agreed.
We get a lot of guests from out of town because of the proximity to the hotel. And they often comment on it's kind of like walking into an original or old building in downtown Chicago or New York for a restaurant. It's just got that vibe. It's got the original brick walls, the tin ceilings, the wood floors. It's comfortable. I remember us talking about that during the construction phase. We were sitting down shortly after we opened, and we just, it's comfortable. You feel like you're at home.
Yeah, and it's beautiful too. It's really, really pretty with all the wood and everything.
Thank you.
So, any memorable moments or funny stories you want to share with everybody?
Well, I share the naming story.
Yes,
so.
I like
I
that.
can't think of anything offhand that was really funny.
Laugh till you cry or cry till
Well,
you
for
laugh?
a long time,
too
I
much.
was a silent partner. I moved after the first 3 years.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
It wasn't funny at the time. They didn't
That's
think it was funny.
flipping hilarious.
Yeah. They didn't think it was funny at the time, but I moved to North Carolina, and I was down there for
How dare
9
you,
years.
Chuck?
Then I
The
moved to
nerve.
Florida for another 5 or 6. I don't know. I just came back about 2 years ago, and so I got involved again.
I have a
So-
funny story now that you mention it.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, when we first started this, these guys were sure they wanted to be active, right? So they were going to be managers at the restaurant. We don't need to hire a manager because the two of them would each work a management shift. Well, for
When he says managing, he's talking about working the floor.
really
So
working.
you're in charge of the
Not just
servers,
saying you're a
you're
manager, but
checking with
actually
the
working.
customers, you're taking care of problems.
There was clearly a difference of understanding in the term between myself and these two, because during our planning meetings, during the 3 or 4 months of renovation, we would meet every day upstairs, and the meeting time was supposed to be 8 o'clock. Well, he'd roll in at 8:30, and he'd roll in at 9 or something like that, and we're going on and on and on. And about, I don't know, a month into this, I looked at them both and I said, "Okay, are you really sure this is what you want to do?" They both had a big smile on their face and said, "I thought you'd never ask that question again. So no, we don't want anything to do with it." So then we started looking for management help. So looking back on it, that was an amusing moment, but
Yeah, they were like, Maury, can you take
have
our
no
hint?
idea what this business is about until you really start digging in. It's unforgiving. There's a lot of fun to it because you deal with people that are coming out to have a good time. I always use this comment with servers. Our guests aren't going to the dentist. They're coming in to a restaurant to socialize, to have a good time. And so that's the frame of mind you have to be in. But you have to be passionate about it because it's tough. It's a tough business.
Yeah.
We had some humorous situations when we were getting the place fixed up after we bought it, because we did do some, call it gentle renovation. We moved the bar. There was some extensive stuff. And we also hung some stainless steel in the kitchen, which the three of us did. I mean, you can see us sitting here, Laura. We're not exactly craftspeople, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Well, I can't tell that by looking at
Yeah,
you.
you can probably figure it out. So we had some sweat equity there, and we cut the stainless and put it up ourselves. But we had a few places where we made some slight errors, and the stainless is expensive, so you don't want to redo it. So we just kind of signed it. We signed them personally and covered them up. So whoever takes down that stainless steel will say, "Why is this signature on this big cut here that's
the
not
hole in
supposed
the
to?"
wall.
Yeah,
Yeah, a hole in the wall, yeah.
The guy whose fault it was. So, anything new and exciting coming up, menu-wise, or something different happening?
Well, actually, at our meeting today, we're going to talk about a draft on our fall features. So, yeah, we try every 2 to 3 months to have a few new wrinkles and offer something seasonal, if you will. So, yeah, that'll be, hopefully it'll be out in the next couple of weeks. We should have
For your fall
the
season.
fall menu. Yeah.
Great. Well, I know your cobbler is good, and a lot of your other items that you've had for a long time, crab cakes and things like that, are really good.
Both of those are made in-house.
That was going to be my question. Yeah. So
Getting the pizza oven in, Rick, you always tell that story.
Oh, that was a chore.
That was a great story. We did the 30-name list of potential names when we were actually in Washington State, and we had flown up there with our spouses in order to look at a pizza oven. our Hearthstone pizza oven, which we had decided would make us potentially unique, at least in western Stark County. And so that's when we sat down to dinner, went through the list. But we ordered the oven, and it was a pretty good investment at the time. That was 20 years ago. Not sure what they're worth now, but it wasn't cheap back then. At any rate, really didn't give too much thought about getting it into the building.
Uh-oh.
So it ended up we had to have the floor reinforced with steel posts down in the basement to handle the weight of the pizza oven. And then they had to pop a window out in the front of the building.
Oh, one of your big plate glass windows?
Yeah,
Big
actually
plate
two
glass
of them, I
windows.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
two.
two. And they had a forklift. I mean, the fork on that thing was probably from here to there, which is 15 feet maybe,
Yeah.
so that they could get it in
Through the
window.
opening.
So
And into the position, its
Yeah.
final position. And I remember when we were dealing with the people that sold us that piece of equipment, they said, make sure your forklift operator has plenty of weight to counterbalance because the arm is way out
Way out
here
here and-
with
Big
several thousand
big
pounds.
cantilever.
And it's in the street. They gave examples of many a times it's turned upside down and so on and so forth. But it went well.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah.
We got it in.
Yeah.
So
It
you
was a big
took the
operation.
windows out and the forklift didn't tip, and
Yep.
No.
and here it is
Everything
still
worked out.
today.
Very fortunate.
And people,
Yeah, and to be honest
people
with you,
do
that-
love the pizzas.
That pizza oven has paid for itself many times over. We've made so many pizza off of there. We lost count a long time ago. It's been a real good investment.
I
for
wouldn't
us.
think you would be able to count how many pizzas you've made. I mean,
That's part of the
countless.
business.
Well, inventory.
Yeah.
You're the business
Right.
guys. So tell us a little bit about, where's your location? If somebody's not familiar, where are they going to find you in person and online? Who wants to take that
Well,
one?
we are in beautiful downtown Massillon.
Yes.
We've established that. We're at 37 First Street Southwest, about a half a block off of Lincoln Way West. So
Just catty corner
Just
from the
catty corner
Hampton.
from the Hampton
catty corner
end.
from
Yeah.
the
Right.
west side of the Hampton. So before you get to the viaduct, you would turn left on First Street Southwest, and you can't miss us because our sign's working right now. Our beautiful Kozmo neon sign.
Lots of free parking. Even in the winter, it's great with the where the hotel is at. That
You can
entire
park in that
parking
deck,
deck is free
yes.
parking, and I don't know how much of the citizenry is even aware of that.
I
but-
know it.
Yeah, yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
So there's plenty of good. There's on-street parking as well, but lots of free parking. But yeah,
And then how about online? On your website?
cosmosgrill.com.
KOZMOSGRILLE.
Because we're kind of fancy. You got
That
to put
is
an E on
fancy.
the back of grill.
Yep.
That's awesome.
If you want to be a little fancy.
Just different enough.
Just different enough, correct?
Yeah.
That's our slogan.
It's awesome. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today. I really appreciate your time and sharing your stories with us, and hope
Thanks for
everybody.
having us. It was great.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope
And
everybody
by the
comes
way,
down to
it
visit
is-
you.
It is our 20th anniversary this year.
Congratulations.
So come in and help us celebrate.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Laura. We appreciate it.
Enjoyed meeting you and talking with you.
You as well.
Thanks for listening to the Laura the Library Lady podcast. Be sure to check out the rest of the episodes on the Massillon Public Library's YouTube channel. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many other podcast platforms.